In this video, I'm going to reveal the LMAO method, and it is not what you think. This is the framework that you will need to purchase your first self-storage facility this year. My name is Alex Pardo. I have been a full-time real estate investor and entrepreneur for almost 20 years. And for the last 4.5 years, I have been buying, selling, and operating self-storage facilities. So having numerous storage deals under my belt, I can tell you with certainty that there are four things that you need to do on a consistent basis in order to purchase your first storage facility. So before I get into the LMAO method, stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to share with you the glue that puts this entire framework together. Now, I have coached numerous people to be able to buy their first storage facility. And I can tell you the one thing that separates those that succeed from those that don't is consistency in following this LMAO method. So let me go ahead and fire up my iPad and share with you some notes that I've taken on how you can go ahead and purchase your first storage facility using the LMAO method. And by the way, LMAO is not what you think, right? So with that being said, again, my name is Alex Pardo, and the way that I like to think about getting involved in storage, your storage journey is broken up into three phases. So I'm going to reveal the LMAO method in phase one, and on a future video, I'm going to dissect and dive into phase two and then phase three. But I can tell you that focusing on those phases don't matter unless you master and figure this part out. So LMAO is an acronym for list, meaningful conversations, analyzing deals, and making offers. So with that being said, let's dive into the first one. So when it comes to your list, in any business, you need a list of prospects. You need opportunities. And so one of the things that I coach my Storage Wins coaching clients through in our community is having a virtual assistant adding at least 5 new storage facilities to their storage facilities prospect list, what we call our top 100, on a daily basis. And if you don't have a virtual assistant, this is something that you can do passively on your spare time. It's not very difficult. In fact, in a previous video, which we'll go ahead and link up here, I show you exactly how you can go to Google Maps and what to look for. What are the ideal mom and pop storage facilities that we want to go ahead and contact based on certain things that you may see online. So right here, I think it's super important to understand that there are 5 facilities that you want to add to your list on a daily basis, right? If you can add more than 5, fantastic, but 5 is the minimum, right? This LMAO method follows a 5-3-1-1 framework, and I'm going to explain that in a few minutes here. So super important that 5 facilities are added to your list every single day. And again, you can do this or you can have a virtual assistant do this. This is where the heart of the method really starts to be powerful. It is so important that you have meaningful conversations with storage owners. Before I elaborate on that, let me just define what I consider to be a meaningful conversation. A meaningful conversation is one in which you connect with a storage owner and they are interested in an offer or they have considered selling. They are willing to engage in a conversation with you about possibly selling their facility. That is what I define a meaningful conversation, right? I don't consider one to be a meaningful conversation where you call and they're looking for $50 million for their storage facility. And we're talking about a 20,000 square foot facility. Something that's so egregious and outrageous that it doesn't even make sense. Clearly, they're not a real seller. Or you connect with a person and, hey, I'm not interested in selling. Click. Like, obviously, that is not a meaningful conversation. So what is the key here? You want to commit to have at least 3 meaningful conversations with storage owners every single day. So commit, make it a non-negotiable to have 3 meaningful conversations with storage owners every single day. Now, you get brownie points, bonus points if you can kick that up to 5. I can tell you, I can almost guarantee you this, and I can't guarantee very many things, but it would be hard for me to believe that if you committed to have 3 to 5 meaningful conversations with storage owners every single day, and you follow it up with the next 2 that I'm going to share with you, that you would not succeed in buying your first storage facility. I'm very confident that if you follow this method and you do it consistently, that is the key. Consistency is everything. If you do this every single day, then you will put yourself in a position to buy your first storage facility. So again, The L is building your list. The M stands for meaningful conversations. You want a minimum of three. If you can stretch your stretch goal and make it five meaningful conversations with storage owners, then you're putting yourself in a really, really good position. Now, meaningful conversations actually has a two-part, it's kind of like a two-parter. And what I mean by that is it's also important that you have meaningful conversations with what I consider key people. Now, what are key people? Key people are investors, private lenders, bankers, wholesalers, brokers, anybody that can be a party to a storage deal, I would consider to be a key person. Now, why is this important? In phase two, which we're going to cover on a different video, phase two is once you're under contract, you go through due diligence, you line up the funding, right? How are you structuring the deal? How is the financing, what they call the capital stack? What does that look like? Well, that is the only part in a future phase. In phase two, what we're actually going to bring into phase one. Why? Because I believe that you need to act like a farmer. You need to plant seeds. You need to have conversations. Why? Because as it shows you here, conversations lead to conversions and conversions lead to cash and cash flow. I'm going to repeat that because it's worth repeating. Conversations lead to conversions and conversions lead to cash and cash flow. Anything standing in your way from where you are today to succeeding in the storage business, I think boils down to conversations. You need to have conversations with storage owners. You need to have meaningful conversations with key people. And so every single day, if you can commit to engage in two conversations, and I should say two meaningful conversations with what I would consider a key person, then you're putting yourself in a great position to succeed. Again, a key person is an investor, a potential equity partner, a banker, or somebody that works at a banking institution so that you can start to build that relationship, a wholesaler, a broker in the business. When people think about storage, they need to think about you. This is one of the things I share with my storage coaching clients all the time is that if people see a storage facility or they see the word storage or they come across the post on social media about storage, if you're not the first person they think of, you're doing something wrong. It means that you're not planting enough seeds and you're not sharing with people in your network and your ecosystem what you do. I can't tell you how many opportunities I have coming to me on a weekly basis because of the fact that I talk about storage. I post about storage. I contribute. I share content about storage. I'm constantly talking about it. So people in my network and ecosystem, when they think of storage, they think of me. I was in the sauna at the gym a couple of weeks ago, and a guy told me, he says, "Hey, are you the storage guy?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, "Oh, I came across your podcast and I heard you talking about storage and you looked familiar." And that struck up a conversation about, storage facilities that he's looked at in the past. And now we're actually having conversations and exploring potential synergies. So you never know where opportunities are going to come from. So don't be shy, right? Like flap your lips, talk to people. Let them know what you do and what you're looking for and invite people into a potential opportunity. So you want to be like the farmer. You want to plant seeds because the time to go find money for a deal and raise capital is not when you get it. Yes, I do believe that when you find the right opportunity, then oftentimes there's no shortage of capital chasing these opportunities, especially in the landscape that we're in today. With that being said, you're going to operate with a lot more confidence knowing that you can get a deal funded because you've built relationships like the farmer. You've planted seeds with potential private lenders, partners, bankers, investors, etc. That is the time to go ahead and bring people in. And actually, let me go ahead and share my screen here again. My apologies. So now you should see the my iPad pop up here. So have conversations. Again, conversations lead to conversions. Conversions lead to cash and cash flow. Moving on to the A part of the LMAO method is you want to analyze deals, right? What we call underwriting in the commercial world. Analyzing deals, it's like riding a bike, right? If you can commit to analyze or underwrite at least one deal every single day, then after 30 days, you are going to feel so much more confident about being able to identify what are the elements and signs of a good deal, right? Within typically 30 to 60 seconds, I can have some basic information and I can tell you, hey, this is worth going deeper and digging into, and versus, hey, this is a potential pass. Right. So the only way that I got there is by putting in the reps, right? The repetitions is looking at deals, analyzing deals. So if you could commit to analyze one deal a day, I'm telling you that after 30 days, you're going to feel so much more confident looking at operating memorandums or OMs, the information that brokers provide, or talking to a storage owner on a call, collecting some basic information, and then being able to analyze and figure out, hey, what might be an offer range, right? This is one of the things that we talk about in our Storage Wins coaching community is just getting those repetitions. So not just building your list on a daily basis, right? Which you want to have at least 5 new facilities to your list, having 3, ideally 5 meaningful conversations with storage owners and key people on a daily basis. But imagine if you committed to analyze a storage facility every single day. I'm telling you, after 30 days, that is an axe that's going to be sharp, right? You're going to feel more confident. You're going to be able to like look at deals, know what to look for, know where to dive in, know which levers to potentially pull to ask yourself, hey, if it's not currently a deal, asking yourself, what would make this a deal, right? And then the O, and this is really like what separates people that are going to succeed in this business from those that don't. It's making offers. It is very difficult to get on base or hit the home run if you don't step up to the plate and swing the bat. That's an analogy I always use. I grew up playing baseball, and you have to step up to the plate to put yourself in a position to get on base and maybe even hit the home run. So you got to make an offer. This is the one from the LMAO method that can be done weekly. If you can commit to send one offer, right? So let me go ahead and circle this because it's so important. If you can commit to make one offer every single week, you are going to put yourself in a position to have one of those offers accepted, go under contract, and now you go into phase 2, which is due diligence. And again, phase 2, phase 3 will be discussed on a future video, but it's so important that if you are consistently adding 5 new facilities to your list, and you're consistently having at least 3 meaningful conversations with storage owners on a daily basis, and you're engaged in 2 meaningful conversations with key people on a daily basis. And if you commit, it's a non-negotiable. You commit to analyze 1 deal a day. And then you get to the point where you're making, and this could be a verbal offer, this could be an LOI, right? What's called a letter of intent, or it can be an actual standard purchase agreement. But get in the habit of making 1 offer a week. If you do that, imagine what's the math here. So if you spoke to, let's just say 5 days out of the week, 4 weeks, let's just say 20 days out of the month, right? Let's say you want to take the weekends off, and you added 5 new facilities a day. That's 100 facilities that you would add in the first month. That's 100 new facilities you'd add in the first month. And imagine if, let's just say 3, you had 3 meaningful conversations for 20 days out of the month. That is 60 meaningful conversations in the first month. Imagine if you had 60 meaningful conversations with storage owners who would consider an offer, who were open to selling. And then imagine if you had 40, come over here, 40 meaningful conversations with key people. How might the quality of those relationships impact your life and business? If every single month you committed to have 40 meaningful conversations with key people. And then imagine if you analyzed 20 to 30 storage facilities each month. You think you'd get sharper? You think you'd get more confident in understanding what's a deal and what's not a deal? And then now imagine if you were making 4 offers per month. 4 offers per month. That's, if my math is right, 48 offers in the year, right? 4 times 12. That's 48 offers in the year. It's going to be very difficult for me to believe that if you did all of this consistently Every single day you built your list. Every single day you had meaningful conversations. Every single day you analyzed the deal. And every single week you made an offer. It'd be very difficult for you not to buy your first storage facility. Now, are there other moving parts? Are there other components to buying a storage facility? Absolutely. And we'll talk about that in phase 2 and phase 3, but that does not matter unless you commit to be consistent with this. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and share with you something. And let me just actually go here. This is what ties everything together, right? Is your mindset when you commit to get involved in storage. Start with your why, right? Why do you want to do storage? And don't default to a lazy answer like, I want more money or cash flow, right? Those are good reasons, but what is it you want the money to do for you and your family, right? When things get difficult, when you don't feel like honoring your daily non-negotiables, when you don't feel like building your list, having meaningful conversations, analyzing a deal, making an offer, your why is what's going to push you to do those things because you committed, right? It's on the right-hand side here, but when you have to decide, then you have to commit, and then you have to execute. This is everything. Decide, commit, execute. Number 2 is your SMART goal, right? SMART is an acronym. It's got to be specific. It's got to be measurable. It's got to be attainable. It's got to be relevant or realistic. And then it's got to have a date. It's got to have a deadline. It's got to be timely. So what is your goal with storage? There is power in writing that goal down and reading it every single day and then actually seeing yourself accomplishing that. There's so many videos and content about the power of visualization. So it's not just having a strong enough why, writing down your SMART storage goal, but it's reading it, it's believing it, it's visualizing it, it's seeing it. And then you decide, you commit, and you execute, right? And then the last 3, 4, and 5 are so important is we all have assets, resources, and gifts that God has given us. We all have a unique ability. And self-awareness is so important to succeed in any business. You have to know what you're good at, right? What are the gifts that you have? And then you have to know what assets and resources you have. And when I say assets, I'm not just talking about money, by the way. Assets, money is just one form of an asset, but your time can be an asset, your experience, your knowledge, your wisdom, your network, right? Your ability to decide, commit, and fully follow through and execute, right? Like those are all assets. And then resources, right? The people in your network. Maybe you have an email list. Maybe you have a social media following. I truly believe, I always tell people like all the money you need for your storage deals is in your contact list. Are you reaching out to them? That is a resource. So take inventory, take a log of the assets, resources, and gifts that you have, because I can tell you that I have coaching clients who are succeeding, who are doubling down and focusing on their assets, resources, and gifts, and not feeling like they need to wear all hats to all parts of the business. And then number 4, and this is really, really important, is getting clear on your storage buy box and your avatar, right? When I've shared this story in the past, but when I bought my first storage facility, which was a 43,000 square foot facility in Mississippi, the reason I got that deal is because I had a clearly defined storage buy box and avatar. I knew exactly what I was looking for. And then like the farmer, I planted seeds with everybody. And a friend of mine and a coach I was working with actually wholesaled. He found the opportunity. I'll never forget it. He emailed me and then he texted me and he said, hey, check your inbox. I think I found your first deal. And I said, well, how do you know that? I said, well, it's because it's exactly what you told me you've been looking for. So define your storage buy box and avatar. What size facility? What market? And then this is super important. And this is one of the things I help my clients identify is your first deal, are you looking to just generate a bunch of cash? If so, then finding a really good deal and then wholesaling that opportunity to an end buyer might be a really good start for you if what you're looking to do is generate a bunch of cash. In one of my previous videos, I talked about the $150,000 storage letter, which was a letter I sent to a storage owner, and I ended up wholesaling that facility for $150,000 net profit. So is that your focus when you're getting into the business? Or maybe you're looking for cash flow, right? Maybe you're looking to have a storage facility or certain deals provide enough cash flow so that you can live off of it and you can do the things that are important to you. Or maybe you're fine and you have a steady income source. And really, what you're looking for is the upside, the equity pop. You're looking to find a facility that's either a value add opportunity where you can raise the rents and you can do certain things to increase the revenue and the net operating income. And then you want to stabilize it and then potentially sell it to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially, and if not more. So get clear, right? And this kind of ties back to your why. This kind of ties back to your why. So why are you in storage and what is it you're hoping this business can do for you? And then we've talked about this already. This is so important, right? Is become a farmer by planting seeds. Everyone should know when they think of storage, they should think of you. So in closing this video, I really think what I want you to take away is that I want you to show up. I want you to learn, and that's what you're doing here by watching me in this, and make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so that you're notified every single time a new video comes out. But it's not just about learning, it's about implementation, right? Learn, implement, and then always focus on building relationships. This is so important. Relationships, the quality of your relationships will determine the quality of your life. I truly, truly believe that. So with that being said, I look forward to connecting with you on the next video where I'll talk about what does phase 2 look like? And then what does ultimately phase 3 look like? So the 3 phases make up your journey in the storage business. But first, it starts with the mindset. So it starts here, starts with the mindset. And then you transition into phase 1 and the LMAO method. If you can commit to this on a daily and weekly basis, you're putting yourself in a great position to buy your first storage facility. I'll see you on the next one.